UI actions. So far, we talked about the client scripts and then UI policies, and we talked about their capabilities, right? So as I gave you one example, okay, there are customers they always wanted to make these fields are read only, and they would wanted you to give some options like these buttons, okay, so or they may ask you to give some kind of links like this, or they will ask you to provide links like this. So what are all these? What are all these features? How do you achieve? So if there is any requirement to provide a button or a context menu or related list link or a button on the list view, or on your list view also you will be provided with some buttons like this. So these are all UI actions. All these buttons, context menus, all these options are UI actions. Okay, so UI actions, there are various types of UI actions. Let's open up UI action. Okay, UI action. So UI actions are basically the server side components. Okay, basically when you create a UI action, when you click on that UI action, this will execute a script. This script is always is going to be server side. Just in case. Yeah.
Yes, can you please share your screen?
I already shared.
So it's not visible to me.
Is it for everybody?
Also, we can see. I mean, I can see.
It's visible, sir.
Let me stop it and reshare. Can you see that now?
Yes, now I am able to see.
Okay. So as I said, when you create a UI action, okay, so UI actions will help you to execute a script. This script is always follow the server side standards. Okay, server side glide system components. Okay, when I said server side glide system components, okay, let's say current or a previous or GS. Okay, so these are some of the examples of server side components. So current will tell you that to make changes to the current table field. Okay, previous will help you particularly to work on business rules. This will not be executed on any other client script. This is the capability available only on the business rules. Okay, GS works almost on all the server side components. So like this. So some of the examples. So these are some of the examples of this server side script components. But as I said, primarily the UI actions will work, execute server side script. So that is why UI actions are typically server side components. But again, we are also saying this will be executed on the client side also. Okay, how do you do that? If you want to achieve any such kind of requirement, certain scenarios, some complex scenarios would come up. You probably wanted to do some level of validations, and then if the validations are incorrect, you want to stop the job there only, else you execute the server side script. Okay, so if you have any such kind of a complex requirement to do that, to execute both client script and then server side script simultaneously, then you will have to make your client callable. Okay, so if you say client enable, okay, this will be open up. Okay, so list v2 v3 compatible. Okay, these are the some of the user experience of fundamentals that they have come up. So if you want to make it compatible for all, for example, let us say if I'm creating a UI action typically on the list view side, okay, if I'm doing anything on the list view too, so this list has like V2, V3 versions. So there are additional compatibilities. Let us say if I have enabled the latest V3, I can also see the photos right up front of my this cells. Okay, if I'm using only V2 version, so the photos will not be displayed. So V2, V3 are like the version in the list to user experience. So if I want to have those enabled there, then I will be using these options. So but what I want you to understand is, so this if I open up client, then this will be executing client side script also. Otherwise, it will be server side script component. Okay, please remember this. So the next one is, okay, whether you want to show this UI action or a new record, say yes, or otherwise like I want to show this UI action only on the update, which means after inset only I want to show, then you can have a capability to control that also. Okay. Again, these are the key things that you need to remember. This will come up in your exam. Okay. So UI actions are form buttons. Okay. This is a button, form button that I'm talking about. Form context menu. This is a context menu on the header. If you click on it, so this is a context menu. If you right click on the header, you will get it, or here if you click on this one also, you will get this one. So context menu. Form link. This is the form links. Okay. Form styles. Again, like I said, so these are the different styles, particularly like if you have enhance the user experience, then you will come to know that. So for a moment, let's not go by this. We hardly use this feature. List banner button. This is a list banner, and you will have a new button here. This is a list banner button. List bottom button. Okay, particularly either the list can be here, or sometimes the lists also can be here. We call these are the lists. Okay, these are the related lists. So you will have buttons right here also. Okay. Now list context menu. You can see the list context menu here. This is a list context menu. List and list choice. Okay, so you can see, okay, again when you click on it, if you have records in it, for example, let us say I added up some CIs here. So if you do that, again, this is a list banner button we talked about, and this is a list choice. Okay, and also on the list, this is a context. Okay, like we talked about here, this is a context menu, right? And this is the list context menu. If you want to have any context menu for a list, you can do that. This is a list choice. Okay, and again, list link. Okay, so again, within the list also, you want to give a link like this, you can do that. Okay, and again, list style, like we talked about form style. So if we talked about any styles for list, then we can apply for that particular style only. Okay, so now, so these are the different UI actions which we have currently in use. Okay, so your question in the exam comes like this. Out of following, which are all UI actions? Okay, form buttons, context menu, form link, and they may say list control or some other stuff. So according to that, you will have to choose the right option. Okay, so these are all various types of UI actions currently available for us. Okay, So now let's pick up one requirement and execute one UI action. Okay. So my requirement here is on the incident screen, my customer says, okay, let us say it will not go, it will come back to in progress because there is a email business rule. Getting back to this one. Okay, so my customer says if my current status is equal to new, display a button called in progress. Okay, display a button called in progress. Okay, when I click on in progress, please change this status to in progress. Okay, and make this status is read only. You know, manually you are not allowed to control this status. So that is your customer requirement. So let's achieve the first requirement. The customer says make this field is read only. Okay, go to configure dictionary. If you want to make a field read only, you can make it read only. Read only. But again, I'm making a task level. Ideally, I should use dictionary override to achieve this requirement. Okay. This is a best practice. Just like, you know, for our quick example, I'm using this, you know, task level update. Because if I do that, it will be applied for all the child tables of the task. Okay. Anyway, now this is read only. I cannot progress it now. So create a button called in progress. If you click on it, this should be automatically going to in progress. Okay. Now, where do my UI action should be available? Where is my UI action should be available? Incident. On incident table. So you have to select that particular table. Okay. Incident. Okay. What option I want? You can choose. Okay. You can choose this particular button or context menu, form link, or do you want to have something available for list? You can use these options also. But if you are using this, for example, now in progress and all blah blah, so these are like, you know, not the typical list based activities. So I'm not going for list related things. On the list view, what kind of UI actions you will have? So typically you want to add, okay, or you want to remove, or you want to update. So those are some of the examples of UI actions which we usually make it available for list view. Okay, so in this case, I want to apply it for the form. Okay, now I said form button, form context menu, form link. Okay, now what do I want to achieve? So my first question is where is completed? Okay, so the next question is when. When is this UI action should be available? When the state is equal to new. Okay, as I said, the UI actions will execute server side script. Okay, so in the previous example, what we have done, we have collected the value of state into a variable. From the variable, we have validated it. Because these UI actions will be executed on the server side. Okay, they have the ability to understand the field using the server side scripting components. So server side scripting components I have talked about. Current, previous, GS, these are some of the examples. Okay, so in this case, so I would use current.state. Okay, if I'm saying current.state, so this will tell me that, like, you know, the current state value. Okay, so now current.state. So what is the value of new according to us? What is the value of new?
1.
It is 1, right? If the current.state is equal to 1, only then my UI action should be visible. Only then my UI action should be visible. Okay, so I made when condition. Okay, now let's test it. Whether UI action is coming up or not. Okay, I said the UI action name is in progress. Whatever I have provided in the name, the same thing will be available here. Reload it. At least if my first script is working or not, I'm testing it. Okay, so my first script current.state is working. I can see in progress. Now, what do I want to achieve? So where is completed and when is completed, and now what do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? If the current.state is equal to 1, so when the user is hitting it, okay, when the user is clicking on this in progress, I want to change the status to 2, and then I also want to update it. Current.update. Okay, current.update. So this is the script to update it. Okay, I change the state to 2 and then I am changing it to update. Okay, so simple script. Check the current status, achieve the next status, and then update it. Okay, save this and test it. We can, we can write complex scripts, but you have to be comfortable with this basic feature capabilities. Okay, now let's go and test it. Okay, reloading it. So first requirement, user should not be allowed to modify from here, right? So the next requirement, I need a button and I need a context menu available and I need a list link. I have. Okay, so these requirements are achieved. Okay, the third is like, if I'm clicking on it, it should be updated. Okay, click on in progress. Okay, click on in progress. It is changed to in progress. Okay, let's test on other one, 1003. Click on in progress. Okay, refresh it. Sorry.
So instead of doing the current.update, can we use the current.save?
No, there is no save. Okay, current.update is the available function here. Okay, so
because we are clicking on that one, so we are coming into the incidents list.
Yeah. So yeah, that is unavailable. Current.update is the update is already they have a predefined function. So if you want to do it for current.save, so you will have to define, build this entire script in the background logic. Okay, so this is the existing platform component that we are using. Okay. Okay. So we are testing it, right? Okay, come down to the screen. Okay, incident. I think it is not working. Let's see why this is not working, because we are building multiple things. I saw in progress, now it changed to new. Test it. Okay. For it. This is assignment. Now 1004. Click on in progress. Okay. There is an error. Error is okay. 1004. In progress. Okay. Error is data policy is restricting not to allow to my, there is a data policy. Okay, which is not allowing me to update without having in progress. Okay, so data policy is saying this. Reload it. Reload the form, because data policies are in the background. This is how data policies will help you. They will not allow you to bypass. Updated these values. Saved it. Now I met the requirements of the data policy. Okay. So let's open up another example. This is a 1003. Okay, I'm saving it. So the data policy expectations are reached. Okay. Already in progress, yeah. Sorry. Open up anyone. 9009 is a new. Okay. So. Oh, okay.
You need to give the assignment group and assign name and click on in progress.
Actually, it's what problem here is. If I'm giving, assignment group and then assign to, okay, there is a, if I save it automatically, that will go down to in progress. I don't even have to use in progress because that's an inbuilt functionality. That is fine. So if I click on in progress, one, the latest updated one will come up. So it changed to in progress. Okay. So simple script that will help you to achieve it. I can use any function, not only that one. Let's test using context menu. Okay. Okay, let's provide these details. And I can use this link in progress. This is the, remember 10008. Click on in progress. Same thing will happen. Okay, and use context menu. Context menu and click on that, but provide these details because data policy will not allow me. In progress. Now here, there is one interesting thing. So here, if you look into this one, okay. Now this is a new mode. The record is a new mode. Before submitting it, you are able to go to in progress. Right? And this is where you will remove this option. If you remove this option, it will not be available. Okay. So go to testing again. Create a new record. See, that button is unavailable. So it all depends on the client requirement when this need to be available, when this should not be available. Okay. So any question?